It's quite different. It's a lot better. Oh. Get a chair, mate. Get a chair and sit there. Just so no one comes across.
He's got one?
Yeah, but sit there.
I don't trust no one.
Just sit there. That's it. There.
See?
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
What should we do with that? Should we put it in the middle?
Yeah. Yeah, because he'll be talking this way, I'll be talking that one.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint, the only West Ham United post-match show on the internet. We've just come back from the London Stadium where it was a fucking poor loss to Palace, to be quite honest with you.
Now we're out here freezing for your entertainment. We're nutters.
To be honest with you, it's not that cold here. It's colder out there than it is in here. So yeah, we're all right here at the moment. I've got a little bit of heating going on from back there, so we're good. But listen, it's a tough one because I don't want to slag Potter off because it's obviously just got here. But I have got to say I think he got it a little bit wrong today. I'm going to say that straight off the bat.
Very limited options. Limited options. He didn't have a lot to work with today.
Yeah.
So, he's sort of damned either way. But yeah, there's a few situations you could have said he'd done better. I think Soler maybe is one of the ones you're talking about. I heard he got a knock before the game, and he's probably thought, do you know what, I'm leaving him on. I'll bring him on if needed. I don't want to risk him starting, which is probably why he hasn't started for there.
No, I do understand that.
Yeah, again as well. Yeah, if he had a knock, that's fair enough. In addition to that as well, having an option to come off the bench as well, that's kind of why I thought maybe he missed out. He's also someone as well that don't always have 90 minutes in him. Do you know what I mean? So. But I think it's a weird one because if we look at the game against Fulham, we all looked at the personnel and probably thought, how's this going to pan out? And it worked in our favour, although we got a bit of luck. I think today it's pretty much the same. The personnel, the system was exactly the same. I think one thing everyone's not really clocked with Potter so far is that we have played every game with a variation of 5 at the back. We did that today. We pretty much matched Palace's formation. So Palace do it as a 3-4-2-1. We kind of did that today. In and out of possession, it changed, but it more or less was a back 5 with Emerson playing as wide left back and Creswell tucking in. But I think the game was won and lost today for me. I think Palace had control of the midfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just had a bit more assertiveness on the ball. Going forward, we were a bit slow. We couldn't move them around, So they're like seasons playing that formation for the last 2 seasons.
I've got to say, I think one of the problems today was we couldn't hold it. We got it up top. We couldn't hold the ball. It was pretty much get it to Kudus. And people say Kudus had a poor game. I don't think he had a poor game today.
He was targeted.
He was just crowded out. Yeah. They see him as the only threat of anyone with any pace, any power. Yeah. Every time he got the ball, especially first half, I thought he took on these men a couple of times, and then they got hold of him and they thought, well, they've got nothing else. They've got nothing else going on here.
Yeah.
In terms of like the distribution out the front. So they crowded him. Every time you see him, every time they got the ball, there was 3 men around him straight away. Yeah. It was a tough. Listen, he's not had the easiest of starts, Graham Potter. Villa away's a tough one. Great win against Fulham. I thought that's a fantastic win against Fulham. But we're always going to be struggling with the options we've got.
Yeah, it's coming with the injuries that we've got on top of, some of the areas we were lacking before the injuries, even with a full squad. It's a real uphill battle that he's fighting. So yeah, look, we're going to have to just deal with it and give him time and try and get some players in, whether it's January or the summer. But I just look at it and you just have to question if a lot of these players are good enough. Like Mavropanos is the one everyone's talking about, because he's just not at it for this team. For what we're trying to do, his positional play is absolutely atrocious. I've seen so many goals where we've conceded where he's out of position. He's either in the opposition half or I think it was the Villa game. I think it might have been the Villa game or the Man City game where he's at. I think it was Man City. He's at right back for some reason, and then he passes the ball. Instead of running back into the box, he just stands there watching the ball, and then we lose the ball, and all of a sudden we concede.
Yeah.
And it's just like the things like that. He just hasn't got it up there. That's the problem with Mavropanos.
For me, he's poor. I think he's been poor ever since he's gone there. I'll give him a little
leeway,
bit of grace at the start. He didn't play too much, but there's a reason that Moyes didn't play him. Was it Moyes? He was a Moyes signing, wasn't he? Yeah.
Well, he did play a little bit. I remember, like, he was very unfortunate. Remember, there was like them instances where he got done a few times, and it was like you tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's just he'll have them good games once in a while. He'll do a good tackle. There's certain things he'll do where you're like, yes, okay, there's something there.
Yeah.
And then he just does things like this, like I said, getting caught out or just a rash decision. I thought it was a little bit harsh, the second yellow.
I don't think so.
It was high, but at the end of the day, I don't think they're always yellow cards. He hasn't made clear contact with him.
He was nowhere near the ball. I think it's the intent, and you got to say it's the intent for him.
Yeah.
You know, he goes to the guy's running towards him. He's running away from goal. He sticks his leg up in the air. As soon as he said, all right, listen, I've seen people fracture their eyes and all that. It's dangerous. It's a second yellow. It is a second yellow. Like, don't get me wrong. I think there was other players that should have been booked. I think Hughes should have been booked about 5 times.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think letter of the law, I think you've got to say, yes, it is a second yellow.
Agreed.
He's running away from goal. He's got his foot up. I mean, it wasn't like he was trying to flick it away. He proper fucking went to lamp it, like.
Didn't he? Yeah.
And like, if you catch the geezer's head on that, what was the one where we see him when he volleyed the head? Where was that? That was here. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah.
Who was
I
that?
can't remember, you know. I can't remember. Yeah, the thing is, I've said from day one, Mavropanos is just not good enough. He's someone you just want to come off the bench and cover any of our centre backs. But we've got a
I
real
don't even
problem.
think he's good enough for that, Brian.
Yeah,
I'll be
no,
honest.
I can't argue with that. The thing is, we've got a real problem. It's not even just the defence; it's the way the team defends as a whole. That's how we're getting caught out. Because I think in periods today, we actually defended not too bad. I think in the first half, second half, we had to kind of step up and make changes. But I really think it's the way we defend more as a team, which is why we're losing these games. And you see Kilman ends up like covering everyone. Do you know what I mean? And then looking like
I
an
think
idiot
he's getting
himself.
a little bit unfairly treated as well, Kilman.
Agreed.
Kilman's stretching himself. You know,
He's being stretched by.
he's being stretched.
by
He's
the rest of
fucking
the
Stretch
defence.
Armstrong's been stretched less than fucking Kilman at the moment.
Right.
You know, when you think about one side you've got Mavropanos, the other side you've got Aaron Cresswell. I didn't think Aaron had a bad game today, but he is
He's put us
37
under
or whatever
pressure
he
a
is.
few times.
Yes, yeah. And he's you know, it's not what you want to be going in with an ideal. You know, ideally for Potter coming in, you know, you need Bowens, you need your
Somervilles,
you need your Somervilles and your and your Tadibos, and because I think once Tadibo comes back, I think he's going to be the centre half. You know, so
Yeah.
you've got to you've got to give him a little bit of time. It's very unfair to be. Is he a Crystal Palace player?
No. No. I think
Speaking of unfair, I've seen people slate Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka didn't have his best game today. Someone in my comments said he's not good enough. He's not all that. I think he's been. I think he's a
Been one of the
contender for
standouts
Hammer of the
season.
Year.
Yeah,
Like,
agreement. Yeah.
And the thing is, what I like, and so many Man United fans try to tell me he's crap going forward. He can't go forward. He is someone, he actually can take players on. Now, what I didn't like enough about him today, I thought he was a bit too static. There was times where he could have gone on the overlap. That's not a lack of
To be
ability.
honest, at 60 minutes, I remember watching him. He looked fucked.
Yeah.
He looked fucked.
Yeah, it's true.
Our team as a whole, there's something with the level of fitness, you know, because we can't seem to play out 90 minutes. Like, everyone gets to a point and they all look like they're blowing out their arse, basically. And today was definitely one of those games where a lot of the players, a few individual performances where you think, what's going on? Wan-Bissaka, he didn't have his best game today, but he's still an important outlet. I think one of the shining lights for me, I think Alvarez, personally, I think he had a good game. He put himself about today. I'm not like his biggest fan, but I think he put himself about today, and he you know what I mean, competed in the midfield.
He does give away silly fouls.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'll go double check with him, yeah?
Go and double check with them. Go on.
Right, yeah. He does give away silly fouls. He'll be kicking us out in about 5 minutes. He does give away silly fouls.
Yeah.
That's my big problem with Alvarez. And obviously, he is what he is. He's a primarily defensive midfielder. He's not going to give you so much in technical ability on the ball, going forward, them sort of things. And I think that's the problem with Alvarez. But yeah, like I said, like he breaks up play. And he's good at that.
Yeah, as I said, he definitely. I'm not his biggest fan, but I think today he was a bit more accomplished in possession and took less risks. It was also good that we saw the youngsters come on as well. It was an interesting game for them to come on as well, because there were times where some of the more senior players had an opportunity to pass to them and didn't at certain times.
Yeah.
The back three or the back five, depending on how you look at
Skulls
it.
was open so many times.
Yeah,
Screen, and they're actually asking for the ball.
Yeah.
They want the ball.
Yeah.
Whereas there were some of our players were hiding, wouldn't show any shame. They want the ball when they weren't getting it.
Yeah.
And Skulls, I really like.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling really positive on, and I think in that
I
position.
think Alford come on. I think
Alford done well as well.
Alford, he done the simple things.
Yes.
You know, he done the simple things, and you know, listen, they're not two players that are going to come on and change the game. It's impossible for them to come on and change the game.
Yeah.
But you know, when you look at the options on the bench, it was, you know, it's so limited. He's really. I mean, that's real bad luck. The injuries he's got at that time, the Fulcrugs, the Somervilles, the Bowens, all at the same time.
Yeah.
Antonio, obviously, all at the same time as well.
Yeah.
And then Tadibo as well.
Soler to pick up a knock like before the
Yeah.
game. It is a bad luck. And the thing is, you know, we talk about fitness. They're coming in playing so static under Lopetegui. They've been asked to do a lot more under Potter in 3 games in a week, right? They've had this change from last Friday to today in 3 games. So they're probably feeling the effects of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, once we got that break for the FA Cup because we're not in it, I'm hoping that's going to be a chance for us to regroup and we can come out of that stronger, because we've got 2 tough games next, in Villa away and Chelsea away. I don't want to jump in, but yeah, like it's a tough one. I think Fabianski, you're looking at a player as keeper as well that's potentially coming to the end of been great for us. But yeah, that penalty. Is he talking to us?
I don't know.
It's one of them ones when you come for it as a goalie in those situations, you've got to get it. That's the one rule, isn't it? If
He
you're going
wasn't
to
even
commit,
moving that fast, the ball, for him
Yeah.
to miss. I couldn't believe he missed it. Oh, it's big.
so about to get shut down.
How long did we get?
Oh, we asked someone in there. They said it was all right to film out here. I asked before the game if we could film out here. They said yes.
Yeah, I don't see why not, to be honest.
I don't see the problem.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Appreciate
Thank
it. Cheers.
Waste
Top
of
man.
fucking time.
Yeah.
Waste of fucking time. Waste of fucking resources.
Job's worth.
Yeah.
That's scary, man. It's job's worth.
I never asked anyone.
Yeah, we don't. But this is the thing. The ball didn't seem to be moving that quick. So even when he come for it, I don't think he didn't need to come for it because he's going away from goal. He's not. He's nowhere near it. Like, you stay with your near post. I know he's been beat by his near post a few times.
Yeah.
But there was no need for him to come get it. But like you said, if you're gonna come get it,
Gotta
get it. And I think he should be getting that. Like, if you're coming for it, it weren't moving fast enough for him to be that late. And that obviously cost us there. And then even the penalty, he gets it, but he's not strong enough.
Yeah,
and he gets through it.
Yeah.
I mean,
right
Dave
side.
on our fan cams has turned around and said that he thinks that one of the main things we need to be looking for in this window is the goalkeeper. Now, I would say, look, we've got. Are they the best goalkeepers? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Like Fabianski, for all of his faults, he's been a fucking
Great
good servant to us.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened to Areola. I don't know what's happened there. He just
Got injured.
He did get injured, yeah. But even before that, I don't think he was as good as he usually is.
No.
You know,
But to be fair, look at defence he was playing.
Yeah.
behind. But you're right. Look, he's got to take criticism. But to say we need to prioritise a goalkeeper, over a striker when all we've got is Danny Ings, like over a midfielder when we have no legs in midfield, over a centre back when we've got two when we play a back three.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane for Dave to say. I hope you pulled him up on that.
I did pull him up on it, but listen, opinions are opinions.
Oh,
aren't
they are, but their opinions are there to be challenged.
Of course, absolutely, yeah. Would I be signing a goalkeeper over a centre half or a centre forward?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But if Dave thinks, he's obviously seen the goalkeeping situation and he's thinking to himself,
But it's not. I wouldn't put it as our biggest problem.
No.
We ain't got to see Fotheringham. I don't know if he's intended to ever play.
League One Wes, they call it.
Yeah. But
Nah, goalkeeper's not within the top 5 priorities as far as I'm
no,
concerned.
even in the summer, like, I would like to get a goalkeeper in the summer.
What's that? When we look at the squad, what's the squad like in terms of the numbers? In terms of I don't think our wages are too bad. I think they've got quite a little bit of wiggle room in the finances.
Yeah.
I don't think they're stretched as much as anyone else. I think the finances come out lately, but what's the squad like? Is there loans that we can bring in? Is it, what are we looking at?
It's loans, isn't it?
Yeah.
I agree with Potter.
Can we?
I think we can. I think we've got allocation to do so. The thing is, for me, is that I've never ever been a fan of the January window because it's just one of those ones where it's like desperation. Do you know what I mean? If we're going to bring someone in, they got to fit the bill. They got to be the right fit and not just someone for now. And I'll probably go against the grain, against what most people think here in terms of if there is an opportunity where we don't necessarily, we can hold out a bit, I probably would in the attacking third. Which sounds crazy because we need a striker more than anything.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just get in some jobs worth.
Because you end up with Danny Ings.
Yeah,
And that is the
exactly.
problem.
And that's the thing. And then it's another problem when you start getting your players back and you start moving people around. So from that perspective, but yeah, we do need personnel.
We're not
100%.
going to go down, right? With
Yeah.
what we've got, we're going to get Bowen and Somerville back.
But
Yeah.
We're probably not going to get Europe,
Yeah.
right? Regardless.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, like I said, a bit painful. But
Yeah.
if we can grin and bear it and then go in the summer and save that money, then we're in a better place rather
The
than
only
like,
thing
quick. we
I'm
need
a
to
bit
get someone.
worried about doing that sort of thing is that we haven't got a lot going on in terms of what we're going to have in the summer. There's going to be players wanting to leave in the summer if we don't do nothing this season. Yeah, we still got to push. There's still opportunities there to push. Yeah, regardless of whether we've got the personnel or whatever. But this is what the transfer window's about: getting some personnel in. Jesse Lingard, for instance. Jesse Lingard was a saviour. He guided us to 6th place. As much as it fucking pains me to say it after the way he acted after. But I'm just saying, he guided us to 6th place.
But it was a gamble, yeah.
It was a
Same
gamble,
time.
yeah, but you've got to take them gambles, you know what I mean? Why there's still points on the table to be had, yeah, and you're playing the teams around you, go and get some players to shore it up.
But Jesse Lingard was alone, and that's why, to me, there's no reason not to go for loans.
Absolutely.
Market, yeah,
if he's available
absolutely.
on the loan. So
Absolutely.
go for the loans that we can
But
get.
there are players there that can be had, you know what I mean? Like, but it's one of them ones, there's a balance, because you've got to have someone that's, for me, I wouldn't sign anyone at the moment that's not a substantial upgrade to what we've got.
No.
Yeah.
What's the point
100%.
in signing someone that can be a backup to Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Rodriguez ain't fucking good enough. What's the sign of signing someone that can be a backup to Bowen when he comes back?
Yeah.
We want someone that's that level or above, and that's tough.
That's
That is
right.
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I say, I don't know, why we're trying to spend 15 million on this Awani from
Forest.
Forest,
Yeah.
because he's just not
It's
level.
just legs, I think.
Yeah, he's just legs. Like, I'm not saying he's not going to score goals. He's not going to score enough goals. He's maybe an 11-goal season striker at best, and we're just going to get him in now because we ain't got any other options. I'd rather us just hold out, and then, like I said, then see what we can do. But the way things are, just get, like I said, explore the loan market, see what we can get in. I don't want to get no Chilwells or none of these injury-prone players. And that's the thing. That's the thing with players like Owen. It's new players that we're looking at are injury-prone.
Yeah.
I don't know why we got enough injury problems. The medical team are overworked as it is.
Yeah.
Let's not bring in any more of that. But yeah, man, I'm still optimistic for Potter going forward and things. We just got to be patient. It's not going to be, you know what I mean? I know.
Not with the injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it had come in with a full squad, I would have been more optimistic.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So
And a bit like what you're saying, Nicky, you've got to be looking up rather than looking down or stuff.
Or trying to stay where you are. No. You know, there's still opportunities there. There's still a lot of Man United are still shite.
Yeah.
Tottenham are still shite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's two places there. You know what I mean? The Bournemouth today blew
Yes.
Newcastle at the fucking water.
Mate.
Yeah.
Blew them out of the water.
Yeah.
I watched it on the telly before I come here.
Yeah.
Blew them out of the water. There's still opportunities there to beat people.
Yeah.
And we have
Definitely.
got the personnel. Once we get everyone back, and if we had a couple more
Yeah.
to get get in amongst that
Yeah.
crowd, but we've got to do it properly. You know. Do you know what? I'm going to do this as well.
Go on.
Full credit to Palace today.
Yeah,
Full credit to Palace. They played their game plan perfectly. I was watching the manager. I was right next to the thing. I was watching the manager on the sideline. He was active and all that, as active as Potter. He
Yeah.
was discussing about what I could see him pointing towards Coolers, pointing to the spots where they made vulnerable. Fair play to them.
yeah, to be fair.
It's just that one of them ones. We beat them there. They beat us here.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens every fucking season.
But the thing is, in both games, I don't think either team was great. I don't think Palace was great, but the difference in Palace is
they just had the personnel.
Yeah, they
just
have
had
the
that bit of
personnel.
edge.
They've got the personnel. I rate Glasner, and obviously they've got time under Glasner. And Glasner came in, obviously, the previous season, had that time with him. He was very unlucky with the players that he lost, losing Elise, not brilliantly Clint, injuries. But they've got time under him, you know. And so that's it. So, yeah, credit to them.
Yeah.
But we need that time because we're going from Moyes to Lopetegui to Potter.
Yeah.
So there's these transitions that we're having to do. And for Potter then to come and try and play the way that he wants to implement his philosophy, he's going to need his players and he's going to need the current players to have time to adapt. And I was impressed with, how quickly we started to see some changes in Villa and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Even if they lost today, I've got to say, I'm impressed with the fact that he give that little bit of confidence to Alford, give that little
100%.
confidence to Scholes, because there are going to be players in and around there, the Caelan Cases, who's going to be sitting there thinking today, if I train well this week, I could be playing this week.
That's the thing. That's a positive. that
Alford,
we've
I haven't
got.
seen Alford. That was his debut, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
When it goes to previous managers, Moyes, Lopetegui,
They would
when
not-
it was shit, they would not.
they
do
would
it.
not
So
do
you
it,
don't
no.
even get the excitement and the joy of seeing a youngster come on and get time.
Yeah.
Whereas Potter, he's shown 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
He's willing to give youth a chance, and they're coming on. And they're not looking out of place.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're
I never thought that they would look out of place.
No.
I'll be
exactly.
honest, I never thought that they would look out of place. I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen them grow up. Listen, you're always going to have games where you struggle. The best at games where they struggle. I remember Rio Ferdinand when he was coming through. Rio Ferdinand was
Graham
highly
Biomax.
rated. And I remember him struggling against Coventry. And I remember him having a game against Arsenal where he let the ball bounce twice in the area and Overmars got in between. And they've got to learn.
That's
you
right.
cannot learn
If you don't
if
get
you're
the
not playing.
opportunities, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted
But
to get your views on Guilherme, because what do you think's going? what do you think's
We had a
going
good
on
old
there?
chat.
I mean, look, I've said in the past that I just feel none of us know what goes on behind closed doors, how people training, etc. But my basically theory was I didn't think perhaps he weren't good enough because if he ain't getting a chance or hasn't been getting a chance in the previous regime, now he's getting a little bit of opportunities, but it's not necessarily 1 or 2 coming off the bench. I wanted to get your views on it. What do you think the story is there?
We said this last night, and I'll reiterate it. I don't think assets that we find surplus to requirements at the moment are going to raise enough funds
Right.
to spend. I think that's it. I think he is probably one of the only sellable assets we've got.
Right.
If we got rid of Rodriguez, he would fetch nothing.
Yeah.
If we got rid of Cresswell, he would fetch nothing. Danny Ings would fetch next to nothing. There is players there. Rodriguez would fetch next to nothing. Even Mavropanos, I don't think we'd be able to give him away. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's a lot of sellable assets there. I don't think there is. Listen, you could take a chance and sell a Kudus for £100 million if you can. I mean, I don't even know whether anyone would bid that at the moment. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I don't think there's a lot of saleable assets there that will bring in a substantial amount of money. And I think if you're looking at the amount of money that they want to bring in, I think he's the one that they're looking at and go,
Okay, so how much are you taking for him? Minimum. If you're saying
If it
he's
was
a sellable.
me-
Yeah, no, because if it's you, you'd sell him. So if it's you, you'd sell him. How much would you sell him
I
for?
don't think I would sell him.
You just said you'd sell him
No, I
because
didn't
he's an
say that.
asset.
I said he's a saleable asset. He's the only saleable
Yeah,
asset.
but
we've got.
yesterday, the whole conversation we have is.
Oh
you
yeah,
could sell him.
if we've got someone lined up, I would sell him.
Yeah.
But I think we've got to get our money back, at least.
But this
I don't think we're going to get our money. But
No,
that's the only thing. Based on
Then don't get and go.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
don't know.
because if Potter come out and said, yeah, he's not good enough, he's never going to be good enough,
Yeah.
that's good enough for me. I accept that.
Yeah.
But if
But he
we are
played him
just
today.
selling him, he played him today, exactly.
Yeah.
If it is down to him just not being good enough, what?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, if it just comes down to, raising money for him, but he is going to be good enough, then no, I don't want to do that. And I feel sorry for him because he always comes on at a difficult time.
Yeah.
He comes on nearly 80 odd minutes in, where either the game's gone or we're faded out the game where he can't really grow into anything. I would like to see him get more time. And the thing is, like Scott said, we're not in the cups. It makes it harder. So I can't really judge him. All I have to do is sit back and trust that Potter knows what he's doing, and if he thinks he's good enough, he's going to want to keep him. If he doesn't, we'll sell him. So, otherwise we can't judge because we don't see. And it's
That's
difficult.
John Solarco.
Oh yeah, it
Yes.
is. Yeah, definitely.
He used to play for Palace.
Yep.
Where?
Right there in the middle.
Ah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing is, with the youngsters, you've made me lose my train of thought there. But yeah, you got the Skulls and the Orfords. Even if these players turn up not to be good enough for West Ham, right? Say they don't quite make it, but because they've got all these minutes in the Premier League, their value is increased.
Yeah,
and
of
this
course,
is the
yeah.
problem. With PSR now, you sell academy players, that's 100% pure profit goes
Yeah.
towards your FFP PSR. We never play youngsters enough to the point of we end up getting rid of them, but they've got no experience of minutes where they can be worth anything. Well, you have Skulls, and he's got so much game time in the Premier League. And I feel like he could become good enough, but say he doesn't. Well, now all of a sudden he goes from being like a £1 million player to a 10 million, 15 million pound player to a team like a Luton or
you do see players nowadays. I mean, Cole Palmer was one. Cole Palmer played barely any minutes in the Premier League. He went for 40 million quid.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, if you've got these highly rated players, they can go for big money. I wouldn't be giving him away.
No.
I wouldn't be giving him away.
No,
that's for sure.
But that's it. The only way
Like,
a
if you
player's-
got to get your money back. We paid £25 million for him, but unfortunately for us, we've got a record of doing this. Haller, we took half the money for him.
Yeah.
Skamaka, we took half the money for him because they want him off the books. I'd rather just give him a go.
Well, this is the thing. In the last God knows how many years, 10 years or so, we ain't got, other than Rice, it's the only person who's basically sold with value with. We're always losing money. Do you know what I mean? Everyone, every season. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Really, to be fair.
All right, we better start wrapping up then, I guess. Final thoughts.
Crap performance, but I'm not losing faith. Still
No.
keeping the faith in Potter, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a project, and we'll have to be patient.
I'm pretty much the same. It's remembering as well. Palace were going into this 11 unbeaten and 7 games unbeaten away from
10,
home,
yeah.
winning 5.
Yeah, 10
only
games
losing to
unbeaten,
who was
yeah.
in Arsenal, innit?
Yeah,
a
of course,
couple
yeah.
of times. So when you put that into perspective, I still feel if we had our key players, we would have won that game today. There would have been a difference because we needed someone to run at them. So I'm still optimistic. Well, we've got a limited hand at the moment, but it's work in progress.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much for joining us. Well, this is your West Ham Fan TV's post-match Pint. We'll be back tomorrow again with the morning after the game before, and I'm going to try and do a breakdown this week. It's been fucking difficult to try and do it the last few weeks, but I am going to try and do one for Monday. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll be building up towards the Aston Villa game next week, I guess. But there we go. I'll be going up there. So if you want to get fan camps with me, come and have a look. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video, share it. It helps us out greatly. But one thing left to say, come on, you irons.